Hi everyone. Welcome to today's YouTube live session. My name is Abhishek and I'm your host for the day. And I'm thrilled to have you all here with us today. Whether you are joining live or catching the replay after the session is recorded, we appreciate your time and interest in the Quicksight. Before we dive in, I'd like to share a little about what will be the agenda for today. So, basically, we'll be getting started with Quicksight. We'll see how we can build the dashboard for the Quicksight from scratch. We'll be covering some hands-on as well, where our speaker will be, diving into the real-world examples, how we can leverage Quicksight for your use cases. And if you have any questions, we will be taking that live. If you feel that you have missed the live and catching the recording of the session, you can definitely put your questions, doubts in the chat, and we'll get them answered. Basically, today we are lucky to have an expert in the field with us today. Our speaker is Rajendra Chaudhary. But before I introduce our speaker, just a couple of quick housekeeping notes that, again, as I mentioned, if you have any questions during the session, please drop them in the chat, YouTube chat, and we'll be monitoring your questions throughout, and we'll have a Q&A at the session's end. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so you never miss out on the updates. So now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to announce Rajendra on the screen. I'll just add him.
Hello
Rajendra,
everyone.
I hope you can hear us.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. To all the attendees, Rajendra is a senior business analyst in Amazon India, and he'll be guiding us today on all things QuickSight. You can ask any questions if you have to him. I think we can get started, Rajendra, right? And I'll hand it over to you. I'll add your screen to the stream. You can share the presentation you have.
Yep, thank you.
Yep, I think it's good. Yeah, and you can take over.
Okay. Thank you, Abhishek, for the detailed introduction. Uh, so let's start with introduction first. Hi everyone. Good morning to all of those who are watching us live, and good afternoon, good evening who are watching us at later point of time, the recorded videos. My name is Rajendra. I work as a senior business analyst at Amazon. I joined Amazon before I have total 6 years of experience. I primarily work on the building data solutions for compliance related teams at Amazon. Uh, Amazon Quicksight is one of the product which we use to build interactive dashboards and everything. So today this is going to be a long 30 to 45 minutes conversation where I will explain about Amazon Quicksight, its benefits, how do we create dashboards, how do we use it, and what are some best practices which you can follow while working on Amazon Quicksight. So let's jump to the agenda for the today's session. So first we'll talk about the introduction, then we'll talk about the benefits of Quicksight. Then definitely I will show you some of the demo dashboards which are publicly available. Then we'll give you a quick walkthrough how you can create the dashboards using Amazon Quicksight. What are those different parameters and controls that are available in Quicksight dashboards? And in the end, we'll answer the Q&A, obviously. Okay. Uh, so let's start with the introduction about Quicksight. So basically, Amazon Quicksight is a AWS service which enable data-driven organizations with by providing unified business BI solutions. When we say unified BI solutions, that means within a single portal, you will have multiple options. You can create dashboards, you can send out reports from that particular tool, and you can enable the Gen AI by using natural language questions. So let's say you have multiple users who want to ask certain questions about your data. They can simply go to the Quicksight. They can type their questions in natural language, and it will answer the questions based on the data which is there. Uh, definitely there are dashboards which you can create, any kind of dashboards. Let's say you are part of an organization, you want to publish your reports, your metrics somewhere, you can host those dashboards. And you can send out the automated reports via email. You can just format those reports how do you want it. Let's say every week or every month your team publish some sort of reports based on the data which is there. So you can automate those reports using Quicksight. You just upload the data, you just configure the type of report, the format of the layout and everything, and then you can publish those reports. And then there are embedded analytics. So this is more about, like, let's say we have one website where we want to publish some of the metrics in some graph format or something like that. So, and that metric needs to be, that graph needs to be refreshed at every day based on the data set which is hosted. So for that reason, we have this feature embedded analytics, which we can enable for the Quicksight dashboards in our websites, and we can use that. And the third one is the, like as I said, in Quicksight there is a feature called Quicksight Queue, which can enable the front end user and basically the back end user. Front end user means who is using your dashboard, and back end user is someone who create the dashboard. So they both can use the natural language uh, to manage the task. Let's say I am creating a dashboard, I can simply write in natural language that create a pivot table for me. So I don't have to manually drag and drop those attributes. It's just simply I write in natural language, it will understand my question, and based on my question it will create the visualization. Similarly, your front-end user who want to ask questions about certain data points, they can simply type the question on the dashboard and it will identify the metric and it will provide the answers. So these are the common features which are available for Quicksight. Uh, to understand it more, you can have a look on this slide where we see how our customers are using Amazon Quicksight primarily. So the first one is definitely, like as I said, interactive dashboards. You can create different type of dashboards with Quicksight. There are multiple layouts available. There are multiple parameters, controls. You can customize the theme. Everything is available. This is the one I was talking about, embedded analytics, where you can add the data points or visuals within your within your existing applications. And the third one is like the enterprise reporting, obviously, where we can enable the highly formatted reports, and you can send out those reports on email based on the requirement. And you can obviously set up those emails and everything where you can send those reports to your internal customers or external customers. So this is how the Quicksight is widely getting used as of today. uh, the quick benefits, the one, like as I talk about this is you can consider this is a unified BI for all of your data needs. So what it has is, the first one is interactive dashboards, then the queue. Queue means the Quicksight queue which I was talking about is basically a natural language based feature where users can type in their question in natural language and it provide the answer. That is the most recent feature which was launched. The third one is embedded analytics, where you can host those dashboards in your applications, and again the paginated reports. So like these are the multiple solutions which are available. The another benefit is build faster. So you can build dashboards with Quicksight like really fast. And nowadays there is this Quicksight queue feature. You can just type what do you want to build, automatically it will understand your question and it will help you to build the interactive dashboards. The another thing is uh, auto scaling. So the data which we upload to the Quicksight works with the Spice engine. So like Spice is a basically in-memory engine, and when we upload the data to Spice, uh, when you create the dashboard using the Spice datasets, the the scale of your refresh, it will be increased. So, and when you compare this with other industry leading dashboard tools, you will see the difference, like how it is getting refreshed and how frequent it is. And obviously the the last one is get more with less. You have to pay very less amount of the money to get the Quicksight license. It is part of AWS service. I think today, as of today, it's like $9 per user for Quicksight, but the latest price is updated there. So uh, in compared to the other leading dashboard tools, the Quicksight is like it's a very it has a very low cost in terms of what you want to do, and there are no other hidden cost or anything for scaling. You can just get a enterprise version or basic version, and then you can scale it further. How do you want to share your dashboard with your users and others? Let's move to a demo first, like how Quicksight dashboards look alike. Then I will show you a few of the dashboards which are there, which are available, and definitely you can go through those links. Those are available for public users, and then I will show you how to create the Quicksight dashboards. Okay, so this is the Quicksight community homepage, where you will have the complete information about Quicksight communities. So basically, you can ask your questions if you are working on any of the Quicksight dashboard. You have certain doubts, you can post your question here. Someone who is expert in the community, they will answer your uh, questions. And then there are learning tutorials available as well. So you have everything, like what do you want to know about Quicksight on this Quicksight community. Here only we have this demo central. I will be using that for our demo purpose. So for the demo central, there are multiple dashboards which are hosted, and those dashboards are very interactive. Like personally, I like those dashboards. And here we can see how those dashboards are created. Even you can access the backend analysis part of the dashboard. So here, if you see, this is a this doesn't look like a dashboard, but this is a Quicksight dashboard. Like it looks like a web page for me. There are multiple tabs here, and then you can see these are the filters which you can apply at the top. Automatically, based on the filters which you apply, it will it will change the data sets. Let's say here, if I change the gender to male, then it will, based on the that it will change the calculations. And similarly, we have like multiple tabs. So this is just a one of example for the dashboards. Let's have a look on one more. Okay, this is another example. This is called sports in action dashboard. Here you can see like these are the again, there are filters available here. Now let's say you want to access the analysis part of this, like how this dashboard is created. So here at the top left, you can click on show analysis button, and it will load the analysis of the dashboard, so you can access those analysis. So here you can see how that theme is created, what are those calculated field available inside the dashboard, and yeah, like what are those filters and everything you can access and you can have. There are I think there are hundred of dashboards available here publicly. You can just go to this Amazon Quicksight community and go to this demo central link. You will have the access to the dashboards. So this is how you can go through the dashboards which are available for public. uh, okay, the next one is we will move to the hands-on exercise part, where I will open the I will show you how Quicksight dashboards are created. What are those different types available on Quicksight dashboards? So once you take the Quicksight subscription, like there are currently two versions of available for Quicksight. One is Quicksight Enterprise, and one is the Quicksight Basic. So based on the Quicksight version which you are buying, you will have different features. uh, so let's say how, now the first step when you create a dashboard is you have to decide how your data set would going to be. So you will have these many options. Let's say your data is stored in Amazon S3, you can use Amazon S3 to extract the data and download to the Quicksight. If your data is available in the Salesforce or any of these different services, you can always query data from those data lakes. You can query data from Google BigQuery, Spark, Databricks, GitHub. All those uh, all those services are available. And yeah, so these are the options which you will have to onboard your data sets from. Today for this session, I will just simply use the upload a file option. I have my data available within the system, so I will just simply upload a file and will show you how does it look like. So I have a data set of, I have just simple FIFA data set which I downloaded from Kaggle, and I will use that. Okay, so whenever you upload your data set, the first option which you will see, that you will see your data like this. You will have the list of columns which are there in a data set, and along with that you will see the uh, type of the column. So in my data set, I have certain columns which are as integers and strings. I can see that. So if I want to change any of the column, then I can change it here. By default, Quicksight will automatically detect what type of the column is, and it will add the data type accordingly. So here if I see, I think everything is correct. There is a date of birth which is in the date format, then height, weight, those are in integer, and few attributes are in string. So I do not see any concern, but if I have to change any of the data type, I can just simply click here on the data type and then I can change it. So instead of integer, if I want to keep it as a decimal, fixed, or like string, I can change it. So that's how you do the changes. Now once you uh, once you onboard your data set to Quicksight, you can apply filters as well. There are options. Let's say you don't want everything to for your analysis, you can apply certain filters. And once you are done with your data cleaning part, you can start creating the visualization. So at the top right you will see as button, click on publish and visualize. Then you can select, there are two options. The first one is interactive sheet and the second one is the report. So interactive sheet is basically when you are creating dashboards for your users. Those dashboards will be accessible by mobile users or by web users as well. So, and the another thing is, if you are creating a report, let's say you want to create a paginated report which you want to send over email, or like there is a specific format which you have in mind which you want to refresh automatically. So that is the report feature. I will show you the interactive sheet part. How does it work? Okay, so once you click on the interactive sheet part, you will see the screen like this. And the first option is you have to add a visualization here. Simply click on insert, add visual. So these are the type of visuals available here. If you just hover your mouse over to any of the visual type, it will show you. Like the first is just a simple autograph. I want to create a pivot table, so I know here it is available here. So now once you select your type, the visual type, it will ask you to add different attributes. Let's say like what would be the rows for your pivot and what would be the columns and values. So we have the your data set which you have uploaded to the Quicksight. You will see on left side. So you can see these are the total columns which are there in your data set. Now you just have to simply drag and drop the data sets. So let's say I want to know the club level total players. So I will just simply drop the club to the rows, and then for the players I can use the player ID as a column, or I can use the player name as well. So I have this player name here, so I can use the count of players. So here if you see like this is how my data looks like now. In the rows I have the club names, and in the here I have the count of players. Now I want to change the heading because it is not some which it looks like, so I can simply change it. So that's how you can change your headings, and you can create different type of visuals. At the right you will see like you can format those reports. Let's say you want to add a title here, you can just add the title what you want to add. You can change the font and everything, you can style it how do you want it. So you will see your heading here. Simply you can add a subtitle, then you have the multiple options in Pivot, like how do you want it. You want it in a tabular format, or you want it in a hierarchy format. Okay, so this is how you can create a simple pivot table for your Quicksight dashboards. Let's take one more example of the something else. So now let's add one more visual. Just click on the insert parameter and you will see add visual part. Here you can see there are different type of visuals available. If you want to create a donut chart, you can use this one. There are pie charts, there are horizontal bar charts, vertical bar charts, everything available. So for different type of visuals you will need different attributes. Let's say for this vertical charts and everything, it's preferred to you have a date column available in your dataset. So we have those. If you have those date columns available and you want to show week on week trend or everything, then you can use those kind of visuals. And if you want to show a simple report or something, then you can use either pivot or a table. We have a table as well. So in the table you can just simply add your columns. Like let's say you want to add the you can add as many columns as you want, so it will just simply reflect based on the data set. The another thing is the calculated fields, like everything which you have added in your data set. It is not necessary that you have all of the columns which are required. Sometimes you are working on a complex dashboard and you have to add different columns. So what you can do is you can insert and add a calculated field from here. So here you can just type the calculate field. Let's say, like, let's take an example of player count of players which we have done. So you can name it as total players, and then you can type the function which you want, like if you want to take the sum or if you want to take the count. So here you will see these are the functions available. You can search for here. Let's say like we are looking for a count function which is aggregated function, so we can just search what are those aggregated functions available here. So these are the functions which are available. You can just simply select from here and you can see the syntax. How does it work, what you have to add? So it's a simple function. You just add count and then you add your dimension or measure inside the function. If you want to know more about the syntax, you can click on this link and it will redirect you to the AWS documentations, Quicksight documentations, where you can see the documentation for each of the function calculated field which is available. So here you will see the syntax for all of the functions which are there. Like these are the functions which are available, and then you will have the table calculations functions. How do you create? It's a guide from starting when someone is looking for to create a dashboard and someone is new to QuickSight. They can always use this particular guide. Okay, let's move back to the dashboard part. So here you can add the count of players. Like long name is the player name which I have in my dataset. This is the function. You can add it like this. Okay. So this is how you can add the calculate field. Here now your field is, if you see like total players, I can see the field is added. Now you can drag and drop that calculate field to any of your visuals. Now let's say I want to use that field in my table. So what you can do is you can simply add that field to the values and automatically it will provide the number of players against each of the country. That's how you add a calculated field. There are different options here. Let's say you want to add a filter, you don't want to show all of these countries, you can click on the filter at the top left and you can add the filters, like what filter do you want to use. So you will have the again filters for all of the data attributes which are there. You can use those filters. The next thing is we have this parameters. So parameters, why do we use parameters? So basically parameters are used when you have, let's say for now we have only one sheet. Now you have one more sheet for your dashboards, like sheet 2. And in both of the sheets you have different visuals, but one of the attribute is same. Like let's say this country name which is here, it is there as well in the sheet 2. So sheet 1 is about, let's say FIFA, sheet 2 is about cricket. Now you want to see when you apply the filter for country in sheet 1, it should be applied to the sheet 2 as well. So for those use cases, definitely we can use the parameters. You can apply the filter at one point and then it will be reflected across all of the sheets which are there for your dashboards. And then definitely you can interlink those filters with each other. Like when you create the parameters, you can link with each other and then you can use those. This is the QuickSight queue feature which is there for the backend users. Just a minute, I need to. Uh, this QuickSight queue feature is for the backend users, where users can type the questions and it will generate the visualizations. I will show you one thing which I created, so where you can type the questions about your data sets and it will show the answers. Okay, so if you go to the FIFA dataset, like I have created this already earlier, so I have this dataset available. Now let's say in my datasets I have these columns available already. So I want to see the total potential. So I will just search the question like what is the total potential. Then it will sum all of the, like for every player there's a potential value which is stored. It will just sum the potential for each of the player, and then it will provide those details. I want to filter it out further for a country. So so you have to train your data sets accordingly. Like for using Quicksight queue, when you create the data sets, you will have to you will have to provide those values. Like let's say when someone asks total players, how it should be calculated. So all those things you will have to provide accordingly. Then the another option is insights. You can these are the options for insight. Like let's say top three club names with the players, it will automatically generate those insights, so you can add those insight to the dashboards simply. These are the options available across the dashboard. Once you are ready with your dashboard, let's say you have created this dashboard, you can simply publish it in and share it with your users. How do we do that? Is simply you can click on the publish option at the top right, and then you can give it a name. What do you want to call it? Okay, and then you can select the sheets which you want to publish. Let's say I created two sheets, but I don't want to publish everything. I just want to publish only one sheet, which I will publish. Uh, and you can enable those links. Like this is a basically GenAI capabilities where users it can generate the summary for your Quicksight dashboards, the data sets which you are uploading. Based on that, it will create the summaries. So you can select or deselect those options, and then you can publish it further. So that's how it looks like. Now once you have created the dashboard, you can share it with your users. How do you do that? You will have a share option at the top right, and you can invite if you are like if this dashboard is part of your org account, then definitely you will see those users here, and you can add those groups and everything which are there, and you can share this with those users. There are different options in Quicksight dashboard. One interesting feature is row level security, which you can use. Let's say you have 1,000 of users, and you are working for scorecards or some sort of reporting for those 1,000 of users. And what feature you want to roll out is when you share those dashboards, you want to make sure that whoever is opening the dashboard, they should see data only for themselves. They should not see data for others. Like when I am opening the dashboard, I should be able to see the data only for myself. I should not see the data for others. So you can definitely achieve those things using Quicksight. There is a feature called row level security where you can map the attributes with the front end users who is using the dashboard, and then you can control the access part, like who should see what data. So these are the general features available across the Quicksight dashboards which you can use. I will quickly show you the Quicksight queue part. How do you set up your how do you configure the Gen AI capabilities when you create the dashboards. So this is the FIFA dataset which I have available. Once you upload the dataset, you will have to provide enough information to Quicksight that it should be able to understand the columns which are there in your datasets, and it should interpret like what those columns means, and whenever someone asks the questions, how it should answer. So you will have those columns. So the first step is you just go to the data points and you enable it, like what column do you want to be asked. Let's say when I am enabling the Quicksight, so this is the feature like where users will ask the questions. Now you have to enable it for, you don't have to enable it for all of the columns. Like I know club logo URL, it's just a URL thing. So I do not want to enable it for Gen AI capabilities. I know nobody will be interested in URL for any club, so I have disabled it. You can individually select each of the columns which are there, and then you can enable for the Gen AI capabilities. uh, Once you enable the columns, the second step would be you will have to provide more context or synonyms for each of the word. Like, let's say long name is known as full name, or longish name. You can just add it. You can add more synonyms if you have by here. Like, let's say it's a, I know it's a player name, so I added it's a player name. And then simply you can add the calculate field as well. If you have, like, let's say total players you want to add, so you can just simply add the total players, and you can add the count of players in the field, and then you can add the filters. So this is how you have to configure. Once you have configured it, your data set will be available here, and so this will be the Quicksight Q bar, which will be live up to the people who will access your dashboard. They will be able to answer the questions. So let's say you your user is interested in the total value. Value is basically the value for each of the player in euros. So you can just simply search, like, show me the total value. So, like, we already have value available here somewhere in the columns. It will automatically take the sum of the total value. Now let's do it more. Like, let's see if we have any filter available. So let's say show me the total value by league. So it will create a visual like this. Like, English Premier has this much of 9.15 billion of euro value. Then for each of the league, it will show the total value. So this is like, what I did was I just wrote a question in natural language. It understood the context, and then it created the visual based on my need. So this feature you can enable for all of your users who are using the Quicksight dashboard. They will have that capability. They can just simply search the question in natural language, uh, and then they will be able to Quicksight Q will generate the visual required for them. It will answer the question. So, like, by using those kind of features, you will save a lot of hours for them as well, and for you as well. You don't have to create visual for every single thing. It's just you have to train your data sets in such a way that it should understand the questions from your users, and then it should be able to answer. And once we you you can track those questions in backend as well. Like, what questions your users are asking, you can just go to the user activity session, and you will see, like, I just asked, show me the total value by league. I can see now your users will be able to provide the feedback as well, whether the question is correct or not. If I provide the feedback as yes or no, it you will see in the backend. So you can backtrack those feedback, and wherever you see a negative feedback, you can go back and you can just modify your data sets accordingly, that it is not understanding the question or what, and you can provide more synonyms for everything. So this is the Quicksight Q feature. And so we have discussed how to create the dashboard, how to publish the dashboards, how do you use Quicksight Q for the dashboards, and then the demo centrals we have already discussed. So over the demo central, you have the multiple dashboards available, and for each dashboard you have this analysis option available, so you can check how those dashboards are created. Let's say if you're working on a complex dashboard and you want to have something for the demo purpose, then definitely you can go and use this option, and you can see how those visuals are created. You can check those calculated field and everything. Okay, let's move to the Q&A part. Quicksight Q we have already discussed. Uh, yeah, I do not have any other slides to go for now. We can go to the Q&A part. Abhishek, do we have questions on the slide?
Yes, sure, Rajendra. So, do we have actually a question? I'll add it to the screen.
Okay.
So the question is it possible to centralize data from AWS Cost Explorer across multiple accounts into a single Quicksight dashboard in a central account.
Okay. Is it possible to centralize data from AWS cost apply across multiple accounts? Okay, so if I understood correctly, basically user want what user is trying to do is in AWS Cost Explorer, uh, there is a AWS Cost Explorer for multiple accounts, and what he want to do is he or she want to create a QuickSight dashboards with a central account. You want to centralize the complete data set which is available there. Uh, yeah, I think this is doable. It is a little bit complex. They will have to enable the since the data is available across multiple accounts, they will have to enable the cross security for each of the account. Like one account should be able to read the data from another account, so those features needs to enable. They will have to store the data somewhere in Athena or S3. The preferred way is S3. You can create a CSV file out of it, you can store the data in S3 files, and then you can link to a single dashboard.
Okay. Okay, I hope we have answered your question. So yeah, I think we had that much question only. I
Okay.
think our crowd has enjoyed the session. So thank you so much, Rajendra, for the insightful session.
Mhm.
I'm sure our audience found it valuable as I did. So before we wrap up, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you for joining us today. Your participation and engagement are what makes these sessions are rewarding. And if you have enjoyed the session or if you have any doubts, questions, you can add it in the chat. We'll be monitoring the comment section, even if you have, or if, even if you are watching it in later point of time, and we'll get them answered. So yeah, and I think we are good to close. Just before wrapping up, I'll just mention that we will be continuing the QuickSight learning sessions in coming months as well. So in this month only, in the August month only, we will be having one more session on QuickSight on AWS User Group Data India. So if you are not following already, please do follow us on Meetup, LinkedIn, and also the YouTube channel where you'll be able to catch the sessions live. Also, we will be putting all the links, possibly the presentation slide from the speaker as well into the description box so you can leverage it later. And yeah, I think we are good to go. You'll be able to find all the links in the description. So yeah, thank you so much once again, everybody to join and stay tuned for more exciting content coming your way until the next time. So take care and keep learning. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone.